Third time's the charm.
Third time's a charm. I'm hoping this works. Oh, I wonder why it's going so it's scheduled for an hour, so I don't know why it's cutting at like 45, 50 minutes.
That's weird. This is like the standard Zoom meeting. I know now it's 40 minutes, but yeah, and you should, but I mean, we used to have meetings much longer than this on Zoom, so you obviously don't have the right account.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Joyce about I'm gonna send Joyce an email and ask her what's going on with it.
Yeah.
Because there should be a license for it. So, all right, perfect. And I think we do need Naomi, but we have quorum.
I think so, yeah.
Perfect. All right, Rufus, it's all you. So, and before we continue, again, thank you all so much for taking the time to view the slideshow tonight and to give your input. Blythe, Abigail, Kate, and Rufus, you have all done amazing work on this. And John, thank you for tagging in on it as well. This has been shown to not just be a tireless effort from you all, that you're doing this a second time to present it, but it's showing that there's a need for this and a strong pull for it. So that's something we are going to definitely express successfully. I'm strongly feeling we're going to successfully express this to not only the Board of Selectmen, but to the town, and just making sure we get the wording right on how we want to send it out there and getting it approved. So thank you all. All right, Rufus, that's all for me.
Thanks, Matt. Okay, so again, just a reminder, the selectmen's meeting is scheduled for 3:30 tomorrow. If everybody could sit in, listen in, appreciate it. Item number 6 on the agenda was discussion and election of alternate member Miranda Lovato. She wrote in and asked to be considered as an alternate, reminding us that she has background in park, served as an interim director while lives in Kent and has 2 kids who are involved in park and rec programs, and she also served on the hiring committee to get our new director. And I would entertain a motion to invite Miranda to fill one of our empty alternate spots.
Second. Oh, you want a motion?
I
I'll make that motion.
Yeah, and I guess starting immediately.
Great, I'll second that.
Do we have to say which one, or are they
No.
both? They're just year-long, 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay. Any discussion? So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. John, you're muted if you said anything. Opposed? Okay. Item number 7, discussion of the
From
2
Naomi.
bids.
Sorry, you just Naomi's just joining the call at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Naomi, we just acted on adding Miranda as an alternate to fill one of our spots. So we're now on item number 7, which is discussion of the 2 bids that we've got for the turf management. And one of them is from New England Turf for $4,361. And the other one is from True Green, and there is for $16,040. They have sort of the same stuff that they're doing with fertilizer and grub activity. Jared spoke to me before he left, and he said that he was very pleased with New England Turf. And we actually have an option to sign up for a multiple years if we wanted to at that price, but I think there's, 4,000 versus 16,000 is
No brainer.
a no-brainer, and
Yeah, but
um,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
so I'd entertain a motion to accept New England Turf Management's bid of 4,361 to do the balanced fertilizer and grub control.
There's no grub control
Oh,
there.
there is no grub control there.
We need that we need that badly, so you might have to send it back to him and ask him for a price.
Okay,
So that'll have to come back at the next meeting.
so we'll table that then. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't
Can-
see that.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So in April of 2022, the town passed a pollinator pathways resolution. And as part of that, the town was agreed that it would refrain from broadcast spraying of herbicides in all municipal management. So and refrain from pesticide spraying
I think this is all
I mean-
granular.
municipal lands. I don't know. I'm just asking that we try to follow this, the
So can you
pollinator
repeat that
pathway
again?
resolution.
We're
Yeah, I
not
can-
gonna do broadcast
And I'll-
pesticide?
And I'll send you the link, Matt. Okay, so you can
Thank
take a
you.
look at it.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, so maybe we'll try to get a hold of Jim tomorrow
Perfect.
and see.
And while we're at it, while you're there by the fields, we need to work out the sprinkler system.
What does that mean?
There's sprinklers that are already set up there, and apparently there's a problem with the motor, the pump.
We can
First
definitely
I've heard of it.
investigate that for
Yeah,
use of the use of the land, especially with having water needing to be sprayed and having the grass watered. So we can definitely look into that.
The other thing too is that we have to be careful when the school is in session, that we don't do any spraying.
Yes. Yes.
And that should be in the contract, whoever's, we make the sign.
Yep. And when it comes to those fine details of the contract, I'll definitely discuss that with New England Turf to ensure that they're not spraying during the school times and to ensure that there's it's done properly and safely.
Right.
Yep.
I don't know the answer to this, but you would want to check and see, are you empowered to sign a contract? Or does that need to be done by Marty?
Good question.
Or
I will find
I would
out.
check with Barbara on that. I really don't know.
I would think we would sign for something like that.
I know, I just want to make sure we do.
I
it
mean,
right.
Yeah.
I ended up signing for the delivery of the shed.
And you almost got it.
Marty has to sign for all these things, he'd be overloaded,
I just don't know.
right?
I'll investigate and find out and report
Yeah.
back.
Good point, but.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll table this. And we may be able to have a new bid possibly by Tuesday.
Yeah, make sure we
Yeah.
have
We
make
can
sure
do
they don't, spray it when school's in session.
That will definitely be brought up in the conversation with them. And if we have to form a contract, I will ensure that it makes it into the contract.
Well, I think Jim knew that from the last contract that they had. So we'll just emphasize that again.
Perfect. Great.
Okay. So discussion and approval of a new art group program. Karen, do you want to talk about the painting group? quickly.
Okay, so a group of painters came up to me at the luncheon we had, the Park and Rec luncheon, to say that they have been trying for, I think, 4 years to get their painting group time at the senior center. It's supposedly a senior group. They bring their own stuff, their own painting. From what I gather, it's just they're all working together on different projects, and then they help each other and they talk about it, and they've been for about they do it 2 hours once a week on Monday. And I guess they had called social services and no one got back to them, and then they call again, and there was having a problem with communication. So I had her send me the information, which I sent to Lynn. And then I talked to Samantha about the group, because Lynn asked me to talk to Samantha, and Samantha said, I know what group it is. And she had indeed told them they couldn't, because they had to get their own insurance to be able to use the building. So I had her write up, which is what you can see, exactly what it is that they're proposing. So they're proposing this painting group, which doesn't cost any money, and it's open to seniors. They do in the spring go to a painter. One of the women has a studio, so they go to the studio, and then in the fall they come back again. So they wanted to know if they could, and you can read it in the thing, if they could have this program back again.
Key points are it's free and it's open to everybody,
So to,
open to every senior.
so
Would you hold,
I'm gonna hold on discussion at the moment. Sorry, we need to make
No,
a
you go ahead.
motion first.
Did we
uh,
ever find out about the timing on Monday? Did
The yoga person is there, I think, from 10 to 11. I did tell them that, I guess I talked to Samantha about that. She cannot change that. The painters wanted it from 10 to 12. And I told them that I didn't think that social services would change the time, which they didn't. So there would have to be another day or a later time that day. And it seemed like they were okay with the later time.
Mhm.
So it'd be 11 to 1.
But did we
Um,
get that? Did we get that okayed with Samantha?
That's what I wanted to jump in on a discussion point for if we made a
Okay.
motion, but I'll talk
I'll
about
make
it
I'll make
beforehand.
a motion that we approve the art group at the senior center as presented, as long as it can fit in the schedule.
Do we have a
I
second?
mean, it does need to say all the details, Matt, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna, I
So-
wanted to first make the motion, then have a conversation on it. Because I didn't know if we wanted to discuss before we make a motion.
Okay, well, then the motion needs to include that it'll be held on Mondays at 11 a.m. and that there's no charge and it's open to all seniors.
Is there a second?
Second.
Blythe seconded it. Okay. All right,
Um,
discussion.
so
Matt,
jump in, I spoke to Samantha. She said just a few key points to point out in my conversation with her yesterday. The senior center, the way that the lease is written for social services to use the senior center, whatever programming, or to anybody who uses the senior center for the town, social services, us, everybody that is participating in the program needs to be defined as a senior from what Kent defines as a senior. So if we were to host this program, that would be one thing we would have to do. Samantha noted that some individuals that do participate in this program are not necessarily 60 and older. So I don't know if we would be able to do that and invite them in based on what the lease agreement says. And then the second tag point of that, Samantha said that we did not get the okay to use the senior center during those times. because 2 hours in the senior center for that programming block would interrupt her potential for introducing programs, and she didn't want to disrupt what she was going to potentially plan. So she said that unfortunately 2 hours is something she could not approve. One amendment I would like to toss around is offering it at the community center, or at the community house rather.
Yes.
And we could be flexible with those times, possibly depending on what that schedule would be. I believe Mondays from 11 to 1 or Mondays 10 to noon are open. So I want to make that recommendation to the commission based on my conversation.
I would go with that one.
I don't feel comfortable passing this until they know that's what we're recommending,
Who's they?
the art group.
Group of artists?
Yeah,
Yeah, I asked them to come, but they're probably,
Painting.
yeah, it's a group
Karen,
of
do you think
women that
you-
paint.
Do you think you can
Um,
get back to them and just ask them if they would be okay with relocating, or?
Well,
Is there
you
a-
know what? I feel like right now between social services and park and rec, it's all I'm doing is going back and forth and back and forth, and now to the art people. I mean, I don't know.
So Karen,
Okay,
to-
well, maybe the thing to do is just to say, we approve having it at the Kent Community House, and if they choose not to have it there, they choose not to have it there. 'Cause
I'm
we
also
can't-
happy to invite them to our next meeting. And if we want to table this and then talk about it on Tuesday, I'm happy to extend an invite out to them and ask them to come in and discuss this so that we can have an open conversation with them based on a motion. And to say
Yeah.
that this is what we are able to do within the scope capacity of our current facilities and what we can do based on what we have. And based on the current limitations set to us. So I'm happy to open that conversation with them and invite them to have this conversation with us and then go from there. So it's not just something that is approved and then we hand it to them and they get upset. This is something that they could be invited to and have
That
a
would be
good, healthy,
great.
open
because
conversation. And that
like-
eliminates you being the middle person, because that's something
Right.
that you're expressing, and I would love for us to eliminate that from you being that agent. So we can definitely do that.
The
So I
only
think
reason,
the other issue is because the group itself that is willing to come in and present this to seniors might not be composed of seniors.
Well, the thing
Is
is,
something that we have to deal with, not with social services, but with the leaseholders. You know, that's
Um,
a Templeton
yeah,
issue. Because, you know, we've got other programs. I mean, it's not like,
that's true. We got,
but that has to, my understanding is that might have something to do with the funding mechanism, because they are federally funded. And so it may not be flexible at all.
Yep.
So
it may not be flexible at all, but if a group comes in, if a defined group comes in and wants to present a program to seniors,
But that's not what she said, Rufus. She said the participants need to be seniors. The participants.
well, and I asked her about that, the art person, and she said they were all seniors, because that was one thing that Samantha had said to me. Now, I'm not gonna ask these ladies how old they are. Just as nobody asks anybody how old they are when they come to the other senior
Right.
events.
Right.
I mean, you know, you can't do that.
But
But
the
if
one,
Carla has represented to us that they're all seniors, how can we doubt that?
And they used to
Um,
be, they used to do it there.
I know, but yeah, you're right. I mean, that is the thing. When they wrote us, they said they wanted to return to the senior
Yes.
center because they were there for years and years and years.
Yep.
Prior to COVID.
okay.
Both of you guys, Matt and Rufus, referred to a meeting on Tuesday. Don't we have a meeting on Monday?
or
That's what
Monday.
we meant, Monday.
Oh,
Our
okay.
Park and Rec meeting on Monday. I'll warn a notice tomorrow with our agenda when I collaborate with Rufus tomorrow, and that'll be posted to
Okay.
Darlene, and it'll be posted out, and I'll send it out to commission members so you guys can see it.
Okay.
But thank you. Yes. Monday, not Tuesday.
And could we add the thing on, the agenda for the Mahjong and, the walking club?
Walking club and Mahjong.
Yes.
That's not on our agenda tonight. It'll be,
No, it's not. I
Yeah.
want to add it to the
right.
agenda for next.
Sure. Karen, send me an email with the exact things we're looking for and I'll add it in.
So what do we want to do tonight with the motion? Do we want to vote on the offering them the community house, or do we want to go into further? And it sounds to me like Samantha's against Mondays anyway.
I think we should table it and we should have the conversation with the requesters in our next meeting, and at least they can understand what the impediments are to using the senior center at that time. And if they're interested in the community house, we can pass that motion at that point.
So we should invite Patsy and Dorley to come to our meeting on Monday.
Well, the woman that Carla
Carla.
was the one that
Carla, whoever.
Or
approached us.
Carla.
Carla.
So
Yep,
I
Carla's
will-
here.
I will withdraw the motion that I made. Do you withdraw your second, Blake?
All right, so that's too bad.
Fantastic.
It is too bad because it wasn't used.
I
don't
would
know.
ask Matt if, I think it would be smart to go back to Samantha and say that we've been told everybody's a senior.
Perfect. I'll definitely go back
Um,
to Samantha on
Yeah,
that.
and I wonder if that would make a difference to her.
And also point out that they were used to do this there, so.
For years. I mean, I guess it was a big,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll follow up with that conversation and report back on that. Perfect.
And I think it would be really goodwill
I
to
think
the
so too,
community if
I
they,
think so
she
too,
could bend a little on
because
this.
they're a little upset.
All right, perfect. I'll definitely report back on what I talked to Sam about and invite Carla to our meeting on Monday.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Okay, so hopefully people can make Monday's meeting be our regular meeting and that's at 7 o'clock. And with that, I entertain a motion to adjourn at 8:55. Or I guess.
Second.
So we'll see you on Monday. Thank you all for a healthy discussion and a good meeting.
We'll see you tomorrow at 3:30.
See you tomorrow at 3:30 if you're coming.
Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Have a
Thank
good night.
you.